Okay, grab your gloves. We're going to do a little shorter session today, but this is going to be our lifting day. So, with spring, you know what's coming. Yard work, right? A lot of cleanup work, all that. We're going to pretend that we're out in our garden, or if you don't have a garden, around your house. I don't have COVID. It's kind of tickling in my nose. Anyway, so pretend that you're walking in your garden. This is our warm up, y'all. This is going to be definitely a warm up and a class that incorporates moves like this, moves like this. See, normally we would say, okay, let's just walk and shake our hands out a little bit and let's just kind of get going like that. I'm telling you, there's ways that you have to start thinking about your motion when you're warming up. Now I'm going to take this into a move to mirror a move that I might do picking up sticks in the garden, okay? Or in my yard, or in my driveway, or you get the idea. See, if I go like this, and then I go like this, I can tell you you're going to start warming up very quickly. So I'm going side to side, see? Step out to the side. Here's my little trainer's tip. Punch right here, okay? Straighten up that heel in the back. Bend that knee a little. You're not going all the way down. Too much. Then if I step with this one and I turn, and I punch myself here. Why am I doing that? Because I don't want you doing this. Not yet. Okay, see how I just come down a little bit? See that? Then go forward and back. Just a little hesitation walk. See that? It's a little hesitation walk. Let me do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. See? Just like that. And then you can go backwards. In fact, going backwards and forward with just one or two leg swings is a very good way to start this type of class. Forward, breathe in through the nose. When you breathe in through the nose, try your very best. See, I'm bringing my thumb just to my shoulder, okay? Just to my shoulder. So I'm gonna go step, drop my center of gravity. Step, drop my center of gravity while I extend my back. And I punch right here to remind myself, to cue myself not to over lean into the front, okay? So I'm right there. Then I'm gonna just stand forward. I was going front to back, just like you were. I just wanted you to see what I was doing. And I'm gonna take this leg and turn and act like I'm gonna pick up something. See that? Then you come step back in. You're gonna take this leg and you're gonna step out, turn the back toe. Here we go, all the way up. And then I'm gonna dip. See that? I'm not going very far. Let me remind you, those of you who might be bringing this workout up and you just happened on this station, the name of this is Fitness Concepts Plus, and it's a service to my class who have been with me, many of them for many years. Some people just started this year, but you'll get the idea. I had multiple joints replaced. I've had major foot issues and surgeries. See how I'm turning and I'm pivoting and I'm coming down and then I'm going upright. Because the very first thing you're going to want to do when you step like this and you dip is that. Okay, I know you think it's easier, but it is not incorporating all the muscles I'm wanting you to incorporate. Okay, and then I come back up. Then I'm going to take a few more passes forward So I'm gonna go like this and like this with my thumb. See that? And I might take another step. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say rib cage up. Yeah, just like that. Then I'm gonna push my hands out there, palms down. I'm gonna do a little tiny beginning into a fold. Okay, so tight tummy, drop your shoulders. Soften the knees, because when I dip, I want my butt pushing back a little, okay? Just for this hip hinge. It's called a hip hinge. And I want you to say rib cage up, because when you come down like this, woo, say rib cage up, it will put you back into your heels. Then you're gonna go wider. You're gonna turn your toes out just a tiny bit. And you're gonna come down with your hands right here, okay? Right there, and then come back up. Now you're gonna go out just a little tiny bit more, and you're just gonna drop. The butt's pushing back, butt's pushing back, butt's pushing back. And then you come back up. See, we don't go down too far first thing in the morning. Then you grab your chair, okay? Many of you have these balance squares that I used to have at class. So I'm gonna put that in my chair. I'm gonna do 6 of these, 6 sit to stands. So if you can't remember anything else about this morning, remember this one. See this? My feet are just a little bit wider than my shoulders. I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna shine my tail lights. Take the time to do that. Big breath in through the nose, out through the nose, drop your shoulders, come right in here, keep your chin tucked, and come up. Woo, and you're right here. Bring those hands around and elbow back. All the way around and elbow back, especially people who have shoulder issues. You're gonna go around, elbows back. See, watch the elevation of the hands. I dig in, drop my shoulder, soften the knees. See the distance here? See, I'm not going up here, I'm here. Then I take the elbows and go back, okay? Big breath in through the nose and come back. Boom, right down there. Big round motion without going up over my head or even up over my chin. That's kind of important here. Ooh, right there. 2 more. All the way down and around. Keep your chin tucked. Elbows back. Boom. Now we're going to go back into that sit to stand. Point forward and back. Point forward and back. Point forward and back. Point forward and back. Now let me tell you something. I have my stance. I'm not moving my feet. My hip is hinged a tiny bit. My knees are soft. When you see me doing this, you think I'm doing an arm exercise, right? Well, not really. I'm actually prepping my ankle, my knee, my hip, my back for more movement, for loaded movement. Because you see this? See, I'm doing a little pivot here. I'm not moving my feet. My toes are pretty straightforward. My shoulders are down. Hip hinge. When you push forward, you push back. See, I want you to go enough to where you're bending your knee just a little bit. Then you come in. It's just a pivot. You're not really moving your feet at all, but you're moving this knee in so that you're really addressing the hip and the lower back tightness that you might have incurred in your activities, or just because you have maybe arthritis in your hip, maybe you have the beginning of a bone-on-bone situation in your hip. It happens, right? Okay, now come on back down. Put my hands right here. Come on back down, but don't sit, don't sit. See, I'm right here. See, here's my pad. I'm gonna come way down where I'm just touching the back parts of my legs, and then I'm gonna come up. Okay, this move is gonna be very important that you get it correct. Because when you are coming down right here, you're going into that hip hinge, shine your tail light, you're going into your heels, right there, and you've got to touch the back part of your legs. Some of you are gonna really have a hard time with this because you're gonna lose your balance a little bit and you're gonna wanna go ahead and sit. So what I'm telling you is stay present in your feet loading. As you're coming down and you're reaching out with your hands, you're touching the back parts of your legs, the hamstring. So keep correcting, dropping your shoulders, tight, braced. As you bring your hands out, keep your elbows just a little soft, right there. Keep your chin tucked. And then I want to hang out down here for just a few seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. Heels, breathing in, exhaling as you come up, okay? Big breath, ready? Shift into the heels. Shift your butt back. Elbows are soft. I'm touching the back parts of my legs. I'm fully on my feet. 1001, 1002, 1003, and up. Whoop. See, I misstepped. See, I overbalanced. And my chair is right there. See, I went right like that. That's why this is such a good thing to have here. You're gonna lose your balance. You're gonna shift. That's all part of strength training, balance training, etc. Okay, so come back down, touch the backs of those legs, touch the back of those legs, 1001, 1002, 1003, heels, and come up. Yeah, okay. Right now, before we pick up our weights, soften your knees, push your butt back, okay? Go into the balls of your feet and try to maintain your balance. You are bent kneed, your butt is pushing back a little bit, your heels are just off the ground, okay? Then you come up to a stance, you bring one toe up, put that down, bring the other toe up and back down. So it's very hard, or it's not impossible. It's very challenging. Unless you're holding on to something, you can be fully behind your chair or fully onto the wall, but try it with me. See, I'm gonna bring both toes up, okay? In case any of you wonder, this is for Kathy. I'm gonna do another one here in just a second for you, Kathy. This innervates ankle and all the muscles in your lower leg, and you're trying to hold your balance. That's why I don't want you to do this independently of having a chair, a wall, something you can hang on to. So say rib cage up before you even do it, okay? Tight tummy, drop your shoulders, big breath. Yeah, so I start my hip hinge. I bring one toe up, then I bring the other toe up. You notice I place my hand here, right? Because I want to bring those toes up as if I were going to try to touch the front part of my shin with my toe. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but that's the idea. Then I'm going to put one toe down and then bring it up. One toe down, bring it up. So this is our strength training day. Many of you like to walk. You like to hike. Many other activities that require that you pick your feet up, okay? So how you're going to start doing that better, more functionally, more smoothly, is get to where you have good control and strength in that tibialis anterior. So it's right here, okay? It's responsible for pulling my toe up, one of the players, okay? See how I can rotate? So I like you being on your heels. I like you using something to brace with. Breath in through the nose. Try to get this diaphragm out. Now I've got both toes up. Now I'm just gonna go tap, 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 tap. See what I'm doing? Yeah, so just keep going. Tap, tap, you're on your heels. Say rib cage up. Tap, 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 tap. The first one or two, you think, oh, this is a nothing exercise. But when you get to 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you're keeping your heels down, and you don't fully put the toe down, but you're tapping and then bringing that toe up, it gets real heavy real quick. So I'm telling you, this is a very underrated, it's kind of a fitness and physical therapy. Okay, so some of you are leaning into your foot. I don't want you to lean into your foot. You're on your heels and you're just going to tap. You don't shift weight, if that makes any sense. Your knees are soft and you should be just burning in the front part of those muscles right now. I know it. Okay. Okay, we may come back to that. But I wanted to hit that this morning, no matter what else was going on. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm recovering. I just soften my knee and I put my toe down, headed down. And then I just drop my center of gravity. Whoa, all the stretch you want right there. Do the other one. Take a breath. So you're gonna put it back there. You're gonna lower yourself down as you are putting your shoelaces on the floor. That's the idea. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders. Great. Now let's address the antagonistic muscles of that muscle that we just worked, which would be, you guessed it, calf. Okay? So once you go into this move, drop your shoulders, big breath, tap back. Now your toes on the floor. Now bend the knee toward the chair and keep your heel down, okay? You can lean in. You don't want to hang around here for a bit. And then you bend your knee and then you straighten. So this is called the calf pump. See this? This is one of the best things that you can do for your students, your little young students, your grandkids, whoever, if they're over doing homework or sitting and doing whatever. Get them up every once in a while and do a calf pump. So the heel toe walking is a good thing to start with, which is what we kind of just did. See how I'm bending, straightening? That's a calf pump. And why is it a calf pump? I am getting more blood, more oxygen into moving around from the calf, because as you know, your blood, as we're standing, as we're sitting, all that can pool in your lower leg. Well, this helps to gently move that blood out of there, okay? So when you do a calf stretch, go ahead and stretch your calf, but then go ahead and do a little calf pump. See? See that? Take a breath, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Little calf pump. Yes, very valuable. Little move to do. Okay, now before we pick up our weights, we're going to address adductors and abductors. And how are we going to do that? Well, I have my chair here if I need it, right? I'm going to step wide, like that. And I'm going to sink into one leg or the other. So here I am. Hip hinge. I'm going to sink into the leg that I moved out here. And I'm gonna go down until I feel a stretch right here. Then I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna stay in that move. So I'm forward and I'm turned just a tiny bit as I'm dropping into that move. And I might do it 3 times. Push your hip back and then turn just ever so slightly. And then come to center. And then you're gonna go into this one. So you're gonna drop. See, I'm just putting my elbows here, have my chair here if I need it. I feel the big stretch coming right in here, right in here, right in here. And then I'm gonna turn, but I'm gonna stay down. I'm gonna keep shining my tail lights. So it's right here. Very important. Groin stretch, okay? Then I come to center, and then I come up, okay? So that's one way to really get that inner thigh or your groin more flexible, more ready to move, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna do some carries. So I'm gonna do 4 basic moves. We already did one. We did a sit to stand. We're gonna do some more of that. And why am I gonna do some more of that? Because I know you guys like it so much. Tina's forgotten how fun this is. I'm glad you're here, Tina. Wondered about how you're doing. Okay, what did I pick up? Okay, I've been doing a lot of moving. A lot of sit to stand, squatting, lower body, lower foot, and leg, prepping and moving. This is 12, and this is 12. But that's what I chose. You don't have to pick that up. I'm gonna do some carries. So I wanted to have something that would really feel like I was loading, okay? So I'm gonna bring these up and I'm just gonna put them on my shoulders and I'm gonna rest them on my fingertips. See that? So my elbows are up and I'm gonna take a step and I'm gonna take a step. And do you remember what that move that we did to begin with, to warm up with? Then I go back and I go back and I'm only taking 1 or 2 steps with each leg. So I'll say rib cage up, say rib cage up, breathe in through my nose. I'm gonna do a split stance with 24 pounds coming down on my frame. I'm gonna bend that knee. See that? That's what we warmed up with, this move right here. Tight tummy, rib cage up, big breath through the nose, bend the knee, in the back. The front one will take care of itself. Then you come up, you come back to neutral stance, you step back, you step back. See, I'm not lunging backwards. I'm doing a split stance, very minimal lunge forward. And I'm doing it with a load, okay? So you get to pick up whatever you like. I picked up 12 and 12. Then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back. So I'm just carefully walking toward the back. Make sure you get your heels lifted. Take a big deep breath. Okay, if you're holding weights here on your, see, your hands are just under there to pad, but your elbows are elevated. I know, for a reason. See that? See that? Say rib cage up and come up. Take a step. Bring that knee down, rib cage up. Take a breath, and you come back up. And then you step, 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 get the heels up. Take a big deep breath. You should be getting very tired just by having your elbows in this position with a weight that you're hanging on to. I know. Take a breath and then take a very careful. Heel lift, walk back. Okay, one more and that's it. Take a breath. And whenever I said that's it, Kathy's saying, yeah, right. I hear her. I hear her. Okay. So I'm going to come back. And I'm just going to do a little hop. And it gets my hands right into position to grab those weights. See that? Okay, 12 and 12. All I'm going to do now, and I can do it in front of my chair if I want. That would be a good plan. I'll do that. I was just going to do it free. But I'm right here in front of my chair. The little pad is on my chair. So I have 2 inches lifted. Now, if you haven't been doing regular squats with me or whatever, I would encourage you for this first loaded one to keep the pad in your chair. That gives you 2 inches. See this? That gives you 2 inches. It's a sit to stand, but it's a loaded sit to stand. Number 1, your feet need to be at least shoulder width. They could be more, wider. But as you're coming down, you say rib cage up, you sit, you grip your weight, you come back, okay? Listen, if you do nothing else, if you have to run out the door, as I'm gonna have to today, and you do a few of those little warm-up moves that we did, and then you have a pad here, and you do 2 sets with weights, gripping. See, I'm gripping those weights. So my hand, my forearm, my core, my gluteals, my quads, my hamstrings, my feet, my whole vertebrae has to move in concert in order to do a sit to stand. And I'm doing the first one with a 2-inch lift with that pad on my chair. So here's my trainer's tip. Right about now, some of you are going to be like, dang, how many is she going to do? And you might have the propensity to swing your weights. Don't do that. You're lifting them to tap onto that shoulder. It's a hammer, hold, curl. Take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth if you can. If you can't do it out through the nose, do it through the mouth. Take a breath, don't swing them. We got 3 more in this set. Just 3 more. Take a breath. Yeah. One more. Yeah. Now, simply do a fold. Place your weights on the floor, okay? Shake out your hands. Split stance. Back. Don't lean. Put your hand down and pull those hands back. This is also a very good maneuver or move to do when you're out in your yard and you're gripping a rake, you know, whatever you're gripping, a hammer, like digging implements. You need to give your hands a break once in a while. And that's all we're doing. Open the hands wide. See, I'm in a split stance here. Do you see that? My knee is going down a little bit while I'm doing this. See? I'm going to shake out. I'm going to step back up. I'm going to step back with the other leg. Bend the knee a little bit. Say rib cage up. Anytime I pat like this, I'm meaning I don't want you leaning. So pretend I was there with you. If you were doing this, I would come here and just tap you. See? Depending on who you are, I might tap harder or easier. Okay, bend the knee a little bit so you're stretching back there. Now take your hands, pull under with at your wrist. So you're stretching all of this. I know it. A lot of problems in our wrist and elbows and shoulders come with overuse, injuries. So take breaks. See, open, close. If you have an overuse injury, then you have to take more breaks, but I'm trying to get your gripping stronger. Okay, you ready? Now, I'm gonna take this pad out. Then I'm gonna put it right here beside my chair. I have 2 inches more now to go down before and I'm gonna go ahead and sit. At the very end, then I will do a hover over the seat. So I'm gonna grab my weights. Again, I got 12 and 12. I would say pick up at least a medium to heavy weight for you, but you can pick up light. As a matter of fact, you can get great benefit doing this whole thing with no weights. You're using your body weight. So, because I'm going to go 2 inches lower, I hope you're hearing me on this. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm stepping a little wider, maybe 2 inches, a little wider than hip or shoulder. You got it? Take a big breath, in through the nose, get ready. And we come down and we're sitting. Then we come into the heels and we come up. Now here's the trick. We're gonna do 10 of these, y'all. That was 1. I'm gonna come down. I am not gonna swing. The minute I come into the move from the chair, I go to my heels. And how do you do that? You shine your taillights. You do a big hip hinge. Breath. Take a big breath. And then an exhale. Here we go. Up, exhale. Inhale, and you can exhale, going and coming. And at the top and at the bottom is when you take your breaths. Okay? Don't go fast. Do not go fast. Take a breath. Okay. I think we have 4 to go. But I'm guessing.
That's 10.
Oh, I think you jumped the gun, Kathy. Okay. Okay, I'll let you sit down. Now, here's my question to you. You had only 2 inches. If you took that pad out that was on the chair, all you had to do was go down 2 more inches. So I think if you did it for those 10 reps, it probably got your attention. Yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna bring those medium weights right here, okay? I'm going to open until I feel my tummy tighten. And then I'm gonna take these weights off of my legs. See that? All I'm gonna do is come here to my shoulder and then go down and open my elbow. That's it. I'm not going fast. It's a pretty good weight. And I'm just making that muscle squeeze. Don't jerk. Don't sling. See, I'm closed at my hip. Then as I bring these up, I open at my hip. I do not flex my back. That's the key here. And then right at the end of this, we're gonna do, I'll call it K's move. You have weights in your hands, most of you, okay? But at the end of this set, we're gonna open the chest. So what does that mean? That means I've got to really drop my shoulder blades. I'm going to innervate my whole shoulder girdle. So right now, as I do this move, it's pretty much bicep and forearm, okay? Keep your chin tucked. Take a breath. Back is very extended. Exhale. Right there. See that? Now go down just a little and then come back. Breath. 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 Yeah, I'd love it to exhale through the nose, but sometimes you just gotta get that air out of there. Take a big breath. Woo. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Yeah, then we're gonna come right here, right there. Yeah, are you ready? So this is cave's mode. So I'm gonna bring the weight here, bring the weight here, then I'm gonna drop my shoulders, then I'm gonna open and I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades together. Then I'm gonna come back in. So see, I rested the weight on my shoulder because it's a pretty big weight. Take a breath, open, big breath, bring it back, open, big breath. I got 3 more. Open, yeah, bring them in, drop your shoulders, big breath. Wait, one more, here we go. Right there, right there, right there. Hold it, squeeze your shoulders, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring it in, bring it down. Woo! Recovery time. Right here, right here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna bring these out because I'm gonna do another work for my quad and the front of my tibialis anterior, my ankle. So what am I gonna do? Lean into the front of your chair, slip your foot back as far as you can go. So this is my knee replace side. Okay, so it's much tighter. However, if I bring the leg close into the chair leg, try to stay upright, try to put my heel down. See, that really is helpful in ankle and foot mobility, is because you can put as much pressure as you want. So I feel very tight here. This is my knee replace side. So don't necessarily avoid getting into that tight situation. It's not hurting it. It's helping to maintain the range, okay? So then I'm gonna scoot to the other side, step my heel back, come to the front of the chair, and then I'm going to slip my heel down as far as I can, all right? And press down into the foot. Yeah, just like that. It's a great thing to do. You can do it lots of places where you're sitting around and you know, maybe you're bored. Just kind of scoot to one side and put this back here. Give your Achilles and your lower leg a really good stretch. Okay, so I told you I was going to focus on about 4 moves. We've done multiple sets of sit to stands. We have done split leg stance, walking without weights, with weights. Now we're going to address the lats, the upper body, and especially that all important vertebrae, shoulder girdle, big back muscles, okay? And I'm gonna still use my medium weight. You can go less, you can go more. It's your call, okay? So here I am. I'm gonna lean in. And how can I lean in and pick up 24 pounds and do it safely? What you should all be yelling, don't flex your back. And I would say, that's correct. Hip hinge, go in as deep as you can. As a matter of fact, this is a very good stretch for your hip, your inner thigh, your groin. Then you reach down, you do not round your back. How do you not do that? You say rib cage up. You keep your chin tucked. You grab them. Then we're gonna go pull. See that? And we're gonna stay down here. So stay down and pull with your elbows pointing backwards. Elbows pointing backwards. elbows pointing backwards. Do not flare here. Okay? You want to keep your shoulders safe. You want to squeeze the shoulder blades at the top of the move. Breathe in, exhale. Okay, so as I lift is actually when you're supposed to exhale. I will tell you, just breathe. Don't hold your breath. Keep your shoulders down. Pull, squeeze at the top. Right there, squeeze. Don't drop your head. Keep your chin tucked. Your head should be level with your the rest of your line up there. Take a breath. Keep your chin tucked. Breath. Go. Breath. Go. Breath. Just two more. Breath. Squeeze at the top. This is for Kay. Squeeze at the top. Then you bring your weights right here. I know it. Okay. Now we're gonna do a sit to stand. And we're gonna have the weights in a different position if you want. Okay? Maybe you need to have them here. That's fine. I am gonna put them more up here. Okay? I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna stabilize and come up. Okay? So make sure you have a good stance there. Take a big breath. Come back down, hip hinge, and you're right there. Okay? Tighten in the tummy. Here we go. Hip hinge, heels, breath, exhale. Woo! Take a breath. Here we go. All the way down. Big breath. And exhale. Yeah. And bring those weights down. Okay? Now I'm going to put my weights in my little rack. Okie dokie. See where we're at. We're doing good. So I covered upper body load. I covered a lot of the four. I did an upper body move, loaded, split stances, right? With weight, without weight. Okay, now I want you to just simply ambulate in a tandem type of a stance. And why do I want you to do this? Because to maintain your balance in this kind of a narrow situation, this is excellent to do every day. And I like to have people who struggle with balance for whatever reason to have their hand on a chair or a pole or against a wall, okay? So if I go heel toe and my knees are bent, I'm gonna say rib cage up, breath, then I'm gonna go heel, toe, see that? Now, bend your knees. If you ever get panicky, okay, and if you've had nerve damage with a replaced hip, a replaced knee, if you've had foot operations, yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can move that foot. That's why I want you to practice this. See, I go backward. I just take my toe to my heel. So it serves many purposes, but one of them is, can I feel my foot in front of the other? Can I feel that gentle press, see, on those toes right there? So this is a good recovery move to do, like at the end of climbing the stairs, let's say, or after a walk, or whatever. And then just cross over like that, and then step and cross over. So being able to have the confidence that you can cross over without getting tangled up on your feet is a really good thing. And one of the things I want to point out, see, when I step over, you don't know all the internal cues I'm giving myself. So I'm telling you, I soften my knees. I drop my shoulders. I step over here. Once I've stepped over there, if I'm good to go, Then I can go either across or I can go here. I don't want to do a lot of bending here. I want to reach and I want my elbow to go up. I don't want to bend, okay? And I come back and I come back, and then I'm going to cross over. And once I get set, then I'm going to bring my hand over my head and I want my elbow pointing up. And then I'm going to really reach up. And I'm going to hang on to it for a bit. And then I'm going to give myself a hug. I'm going to drop my shoulders really, really nicely. Drop your shoulders. And then I'm going to bring it back out. And then the last move that I didn't do at the chair is a heel to hip. Do not do this quickly. Do not do it tight. Have a chair in front of you or a wall or a counter. Strike a match and bring that heel to your hip. Strike a match, bring the heel to the hip, but don't do it quickly and don't do it tight because this hamstring will ball up on you and you'll like freak out. It gets better the more used to doing that move that it gets practice doing. And some of you might say, well, how far do I go up? And I say that depends on two things. How far are you leaning? Number one. And when do you feel a little stretch right here? That will dictate how far you go up, okay? And how many times you want to do it? You're always going to try to do these without pain and feeling a stretch at least, 6 to 10 times. Your weights, of course, when you have a damaged joint, you have to do a few more repetitions with a little bit lighter weight, okay? You want to function in your joints without hurting them is the point, okay? And I hope we did that today. I'm knocking off about 10 minutes early because I have to go get drilled on my tooth. Let me take it off camera.